I know that participating in this year's exhibit, every one of you deserves an award because it has not been easy. Having to do all of these with COVID out there has not been an easy chore. But Charlotte, I want to thank her because she was in that center, receiving the images, organizing, printing labels, doing everything she had to do with Sid's help, of course. And then Bill, I know Bill has logged in. And Lou, did you log in too? I didn't see. Oh, there is Lou. They spent 2 or 3 days hanging that show, making it look fabulous. So I really do feel so blessed to have such amazing help at the Photo Center. Thank you, all of you, for everything you did. And then, of course, Matt Stock put a lot of effort and a lot of time to narrow the show down to the number of images that we needed, and he did such an amazing show. I hope that all of you do make it in to see it because it's beautiful, but I'm going to turn it over to Matt for a minute so that he can give us his experience and say a few words about the show. Matt?
Sure, thanks, Fatima. So I'm based in Miami. For those of you who I haven't had the pleasure of meeting at Photo Fusion or around the center, I try to come up as often as possible. The Palm Beach Photographic Center and Fatima and Sid and Charlotte and Bill, I mean, all just phenomenal people who I love, and I love the center and try to spend as much time as I can there. I was also fortunate enough to be the artist in residence over 2 summers there. And I mean, it's just amazing. You guys are very, very lucky to have such a gem in the landscape of arts organizations in the country in your backyard. I really, truly believe that. You know, normally I'd say don't shoot the messenger if you're upset about any outcomes tonight with winners and which images were not selected, but it's me, so I can't pass the buck. It really was fun. It was a pleasure to look through all the images that were submitted. There were a lot of really, really spectacular works. I tried to make sure, and I believe I did, that everybody was represented in the show, and selected my favorite images from the ones submitted. Can you guys hear me okay? I just got a little notice that my internet's unstable. Okay, cool. So really did my best to try to, you know, select a wide variety of images, to try to select a wide variety of themes, color and black and white. And since this was an open-ended competition, what I was looking for was something unique, so kind of an innovation and approach, something a little different in terms of you know, viewpoint, so if your artistic viewpoint. For those of you who've seen my work, you know, and just have talked to me, I'm like a technical nut. So I was looking for sometimes, but not always, you know, were these technically well executed? If it was a bird in flight, was it sharp? If it wasn't, you know, did I think that was an artistic choice? So in having the images without necessarily an artist statement, you know, it was going off of the visuals. Those were the biggest things that I was looking for. But it's very clear to me that the membership, y'all have been shooting for a long time. There's a wide range of experience, and that, you know, everybody is growing. You know, I'm still growing as an artist every day. So I think you guys did a great job self-selecting and self-curating the works that you guys submitted, and I really enjoyed it. It was a really fun process. So thank you, Fatima, for asking me to judge. I really appreciate it and really enjoyed it.
Thank you so much, Matt. I think you did such an amazing job, and it's always a pleasure to work with you. So I really appreciate it. Thanks.
You too, absolutely.
So next what we're going to do is actually show you a video that Sid Penske has put together. He has spent hours and hours recording and rendering this exhibition. Hopefully you're all represented in there. I think he did a great job. And so that's what we're going to do next. And then after we show the exhibition, then we're going to get to the moment you're all waiting for, which is announce the winners in each category. Thank you.
Mary Jane Zapp. I'm here today at the Palm Beach Photographic Centre with some of my images. I have one behind me here. That was something that I took at Carnival in Venice in 2018. I printed it on metal so that the metal shows through the black and white print. And it's in the iPhone photo part of the show this year, of the member show. It really is a great opportunity to participate with a lot of really beautiful photography works that I'm here with.
Hi, my name is Michael Rodman, and I'm here today at the Palm Beach Photographic Centre with my artwork. It's a picture that I took in South Africa when I was working with elephants doing animal behavior research. I actually took the picture during morning observations of the elephants when one of the cats came up and started observing with me. And it ended up being one of my favorite pictures, and I'm glad that it got chosen. I got into photography because my mom's a photographer and I grew up around it, and she's actually featured here today as well. So it's really fun to be featured next to my mom.
I'm Chilton, and I started in photography back in the old film days. I guess you can tell by the color of my hair that's a long time ago. But I like to take pictures in the nighttime. The colors are more vibrant. Somehow it stimulates the imagination a lot more, like the ones in back of me. One of them is a mirrored shot, and the other is a steel wool shot. Both of them are at night, and both of them are vibrant and jump at you. And that coincides with my object in photography, which is to produce the wow factor.
Hi, it's Herb Friedman. I've been a member of the photography group for about a year. I'm very happy they're doing this show with iPhones. I think that's a great idea. I've been doing photography for about 50 years. I've had shows and things in magazines, but I never became a professional, and that allows me to do what I love to do. About 10 years ago, my wife and I bought an apartment on Singer Island, which is right on the ocean. And I love photographing the ocean, the clouds, the ocean. It's like constantly moving, and constantly beautiful images are forming that are different than what was there an hour ago. So to me, it's like being in the here and now, because like the photograph I have in the show with the pink clouds, if you were there 10 minutes later, the clouds wouldn't be there. So it's kind of like the decisive moment and being here now. And that's what I do, and mostly clouds and water. Enjoy yourself.
My name is Vanessa Rodman, and these are my images. The first one is Birth of a Tigress, which I think is just a beautiful picture of pregnancy and the way we as women change when we have children, adopt children, when we become moms, and we become tigresses of our own. The second one is titled Lene, that is my daughter, and she is my muse. Obviously, I think this is a beautiful picture because it's my baby, but she inspires me in so many ways, and I absolutely love her eyes in this photograph. I think it's stunning.
Hi, I'm Steve Nestor, and I'm excited about having a entry into the iPhone contest. I do submit to the DSLR for the regular contest, but I did not do that this year, so I appreciate the Photographic Center having a iPhone contest. So my image is called Door to Self-Reflection, and I took it a couple years ago. I went up to Lancaster, Ohio for my high school reunion. So it'd been there, it was a self-reflecting time. So a lot of the stickers on there are reflective of Central Ohio. So it's so I was kind of captivated by the image. So, but I do also appreciate, again, Photographic Center for all that I've learned from them and being able to learn from other photographers too. So I appreciate them and look forward to seeing the exhibit maybe in real instead of virtual.
Hi, I'm Janice Ehlers. The work that was chosen for the show are three of my favorite pictures. The first is what I've titled NOLA Heritage, and it was taken in the New Orleans Preservation Hall of one of the musicians. And I feel that my picture captures this musician. It's an environmental portrait, and I love the way the light shined in on him. I think it's so important to have people like this feel comfortable, and I was lucky enough to have him pose for these pictures. The next is one, I really enjoy street photography, and this was taken in Lafayette Square of a young girl who is learning fortune telling. And I felt that she had the weight of the little boy's fortune, his in her ability to foresee the future. So I like the interplay of the young boy passing by and the mystery that the photo evokes, that you don't know if she told his fortune, if it was positive or not. And I've just found her captivating to be doing this at such a young age. The third is what I call in the style of Degas. And this was taken at the Norton Museum in 2019 at their fabulous Bastille Day celebration. And it was just a wonderful event. And they had dancers that people could draw. And I was able to capture one of the ballerinas as she was at rest. I used the impressionistic style of soft focus to give a Degas appearance to my picture. So I'm just thrilled to be selected and be part of such a wonderful group of photographers. Thanks so much.
Hi, my name is David Benz, and I'm from Vero Beach, Florida, and I'm a member of the Palm Beach Photographic Centre. I have two photographs here that I'd like to talk briefly about. They're both studies. The first one is a nut study that I did out on my back porch with natural light. I love the shadows and the shapes of what was going on. I wanted a Davy and Goliath feel to the picture. It was kind of pre-visualized, and I have the watercolor paper in the background. My second photograph I have is a fork and egg study I did using a kitchen fork and an egg on watercolor paper in natural morning light. And I just love the way the shadows and the shapes worked in this photograph. And I saw it and I knew that I had to shoot it.
Hello, I'm Marjorie New, and I have been a photographer for decades. And this most recent work that you are seeing is work that came to me as I used to be extremely precise with everything that I did. And I felt that the climate was totally different, and this was before COVID. This series has to do, it was taken downtown in New York, and I used intentional camera movement as opposed to being totally precise. And I didn't know the results that would come out of the camera, much the same way as with film. And it had a certain excitement to me because it wasn't something that I checked on the back of my digital camera until I was at my computer. So this series that you are able to see has to do with movement, has to do with people hustling. And now in COVID, we are not able to stand next to each other. We are not able to have connections. So for me, it has even more meaning looking back. And I think that's really what photography is the ability to think about it And sometimes it's within the framework of what is going on politically, within the framework socially, but always there is an emotional connection. I use color as my vehicle. Anyway, so I hope you will enjoy these photos, and thank you very much.
Greetings, my name is Sergio Rojo. The North Cascades of Washington State is home. Landscape photography, my calling. Mount Chilton in the North Cascades is the main subject of both of my shots. The color shot is Picture Lake, the iconic, fickle, arguably the most beautiful shot in the Pacific Northwest. An early snowstorm created idyllic conditions. The black and white avalanche shot was taken during a wicked winter storm. At 4:45, the summit pyramid broke through the clouds again. In the midst of the shoot, the glacier broke off. The avalanche began. I was very alert. This is the second frame of the sequence. To the Palm Beach Photographic Centre, thank you very much. To all the members, good light.
I'm Marilyn Sandler. Since retiring from real estate in 2006, I'm enjoying my passion for photography. The interest has always been there, but the time was not. Photographing flowers, animal life, architecture, family, friends gives me great pleasure. Some photos are from my travels and some are from my neighborhood. I've been lucky enough to have been accepted into many juried art shows and even won a few ribbons. The water lilies photo is in honor of my granddaughter, Lily. The photo was taken at McKee's Garden in Vero Beach. Then I digitally enhanced it. The touch of color photo was taken at Grassy Waters. The red berries made the photo pop. The bonus for me is when the person viewing the photo enjoys the photo as much as I did when I took the photo. Thank you and enjoy.
I'm Greg McIntosh, a photographer from Vero Beach, Florida. I have 3 images showing in the museum this year, 1 in the members exhibit and 2 in the mobile phone exhibit. The judges selected an infrared image of a rural Ohio field for the members exhibition, and that's over my shoulder here. I grew up in rural Ohio, and this photograph reminds me of my youth before consciousness crept into my life. Photographing in infrared, capturing a scene that is lit by light that is beyond the resolving power of the human eye, adds to this illusion, I think. Printing what cannot be seen is magical. 2 images hang in the mobile phone exhibition. The first is a black and white photograph of the cloister at Palm Beach's iconic Bethesda by the Sea Episcopal Church. To me, the photograph represents the stillness, the dignity, and the architectural simplicity of that magnificent church. The second photograph is a multiple exposure, color image of the moon rising from the sea off a deserted Florida beach. I hope you enjoy these photographs as much as I did in creating them.
Hi, my name is Joe Oberman. I'd like to thank the Photography Center for their enthusiasm and efforts in having interest in my photography and in the work that they do. One of the images that I presented is what I would like to think of as a serene walk along a chateau and into a beautiful garden. It's for you to take a little ride up the stairs and then to see the garden and enjoy what you can make of it. The second picture that I have is something that I believe symbolizes contrasts. And these are contrasts that we may or may not encounter in our lives, but it's for us to try to find these things and look at them. Some of the contrasts that I see in the image of the skull and the orchid is initially the black and white aspect of the image, but also the aspect of the hard and coarse skull and then the softness of the orchid. And the other contrast that I notice is the decay of the skull and how new life has overtaken it by the growing orchid. And feel free to imagine whatever else you feel like in that image. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Laura Tracy. My image is called Blue Angels over Boca. I took this image on May 8th when the Blue Angels did their flyover over South Florida to honor the healthcare workers and first responders responding to the COVID-19 pandemic. The photo was taken over the Boca West Hospital, which was their last flyover stop in South Florida. And to me, it was just really important to kind of get out there and take a photo of this really historic moment. We're in the middle of this pandemic and they were flying over to honor all these first responders who were taking their time out to work on the pandemic. So, the Blue Angels to me represent excellence and precision in the military and aviation, and I think that's so symbolic about what people are doing on their day-to-day basis on the front lines of the pandemic. So it was really a really fun photo to take. They came out of nowhere. I took it really quickly, and I was really, really happy with the image that I was able to get and that was selected. And then I'm able to share this moment with our community.
Hi, I'm Dory McCurran, and I have a couple of different images in the show. I have one in the main exhibition and one in the iPhone show. So I'll talk about the first one, which is called Wildflowers. And I shot it actually a couple of years ago, but I didn't actually pull it up and edit it until recently, and I like what I saw, so that's why it's in today. What I like about it is, the wind was blowing. It was in an open field of wildflowers, and the wind was blowing really hard, so there's a lot of movement in there. There's kind of a mixed variety of different shades of green, and then some pops of color in pink. And then there's also, so you got the blurred background, and then you got the nice close-up in there of the image. So it makes for a nice composition altogether. The other image is called Jazz Player, and that's completely different. It was taken with an iPhone. I ended up selecting a site on that, which I had shot at before, and it's an old warehouse, and it was for a photo shoot for a CD. And I really liked this location a lot, and I had an image in mind of what I wanted to create. And this actually happened to be the very first shot of what I took. And with the musician, with his knee up, and with his saxophone. So again, it was the very first group of shots that I took in this particular location, and it worked very well. He ended up using it for the back of his CD, cropping it down to a square size. And then also I had taken a lot of other shots as well, and the front cover was more of a close-up on the steps. So that's about it. I've enjoyed being in the show, and I appreciate being in this one. Thank you.
And I'm here to speak about the 3 images that have been selected. So I'll start with the man in the window. And that image is really special to me. First of all, it's very difficult to shoot a window without getting all this glare. And you can see the sun was shining on it because we have the shadows. And it's a real juxtaposition because in the reflection you can see the Pearl Tower in Pudong. This was shot in Shanghai. And here we have a fellow that's living in a building that was probably built, maybe 100 years ago. It's right on the Bund, and building doesn't have long for this world. It's going to be taken down, and I just really like out and the curtain and the bricks in the window. So I was very, very happy this one was chosen. The next one is an infrared shot that I had taken at the Tea Gardens, and I just liked the intensity of it, the high intensity of the shot, and the foreground in the upper left corner of Spanish moss hanging down, and the reflection in the water, and I just gave me another otherworldly feeling. I shot this with a phase camera and with an infrared filter on it in black and white. The last shot is sort of interesting. I'm not a florist, but I went outside and picked all these flowers from around where I live and came back and put them in a vase and set it up and shot it in the house. And I shot it with a Arca Swiss M camera, which is a rail camera with a 150 Rodenstock lens on the front and a Phase 1 back IQ4 on the back of it. And I photostacked it by moving the rear standard back 1 millimeter, and I must have taken about 15 or 20 shots, and it came out so clear, the clarity and the depth, and it was just really a surprise, honestly, that it came out as nice as it did. And the lighting worked perfectly, where the right side with that hibiscus, which I learned that was the name of the flower after I took the shot, is really the focal point, and the purple behind it also is just incredibly clear and sort of fades into these reds that are just beautiful as they fade out against the black background. So I'm very appreciative of the shots that were chosen, and I want to thank the judges, and most certainly thank Palm Beach Photographic Centre for all the work that they've done in these very, very difficult times. So thank you very much for looking.
Hello, my name is Linh from Palm Springs. I have been participating at Palm Beach Photographic Centre for several years. I love to be out in nature to photograph wildlife because you never know what you're going to get. It's a surprise every time. The great egret is displaying its plumage during mating season. The great Cassidy bird getting ready to eat its lunch. The gator babies enjoying the sun while floating in the water on a branch. Thank you for selecting me for this exhibit.
Hi, I'm Brad Sprayberry. The image behind me is one that I took when I was in Portugal. It's in Oporto, and the gentleman behind me was just watching the cityscape go on below him while his wife was hanging out laundry. And the image that I got was just of him on the balcony because I thought that played more effectively. But it was a beautiful time and really just a street capture of street photography that I enjoy taking. The other image that I have in the show is called Calm Moorings, and it's an image of a marina at dawn, and there was heavy fog, and the heavy fog gave pretty much the same color to the sky as it did to the water, and I tried to capture the sereneness of the image, and I think I got what I needed.
Hi, I'm Susan Klein, and I live in West Palm Beach. I'm originally from Shaker Heights, Ohio, and my image is something that's really important to me. It brings back a lot of memories, and it was a very important part of my life when I lived in Cleveland. It is called the West Side Market, and it is the oldest market in Cleveland, Ohio, the oldest indoor-outdoor market. It was actually formed in 1840, it was built. And it was specifically for the purpose of purveyors to come and get their goods to go sell to the restaurants and other places. It wasn't until 1912 that it opened up to the public. So I have very fond memories of taking my kids down to the West Side Market on Saturdays, and then later my grandkids taking them to the West Side Market on Saturdays. And it is an historical landmark. So in the register of historical buildings, it is really important in Cleveland. It is a beautiful building. And as you can see, the roof, the walls, the whole structure of the inside of the building is absolutely beautiful. I hope you enjoy it.
Hi, I'm Lou Mark. I've been a member of the Photographic Center for approximately 10 years, possibly more. And I used to go down to Delray before they moved up here. This is a picture that I took while my wife and I celebrated our 50th wedding anniversary on a cruise with our 3 sons, their wives, and their kids about a year ago. And we were leaving the port of Miami for a cruise in the Caribbean. While I was taking this picture from the top of the cruise ship, a motorboat very fortuitously ran into my picture. And I think that's what made this picture. I also have the honor of helping Bill Adalek in posting and hanging all of your pictures. So I have seen them all, and they are all beautiful. Congratulations.
Hello, my name is Alberto Ciso. Again, I'm participating as all the years in the West Palm Beach Photographic Center show. I'm glad to be here as usual. This particular picture I took in Japan is a kind of a street photography portrait that I particularly like that because the way she looked at the camera and interact with me, that was really interesting. That's why I took that picture.
Hi, my name is Dee Dee DeHone. I'm a 4th generation Floridian, a native to West Palm Beach. I've been a member of the Palm Beach Photographic Center for 5 years, and this is my 3rd year participating in their annual show. It's been a lot of fun, about a lot of great people. Participating in the show is one of the highlights, and I enjoy TAing and participating in their annual photo fusion. The 2 pictures I have are, one is of the beginning and ending of a cork cycle. It's a landscape. The other is a night photography scene, and I was glad to show off my TA skills that I learned with the night photography class.
Okay, my name is Pierre Debani. I'm from Lebanon. I've been living in Florida for many years and enjoy going to the great experience of the Photographic Center every year. I recommend everybody to do that. I'm presently in Lebanon, where you had the Beirut explosion recently, and things are really tough. But I'm spending the summer here and go back for the winter in Florida. My photography, important to me, is to tell a story through my pictures. And telling a story, I use a Nikon 850, I use a Z7 also, mirrorless, and I use sometimes the RX 100 of Sony, which is great for when you don't want to take a big camera. I like to take pictures of birds, of nature, travel photography, portraits. And as my friend Katsu used to say, the most important thing in photography is making the shot. if you have all the cameras in the world, etc., etc., if you have the opportunity and you don't make the shot, it's gone forever. So you tell the story, you make the shot, and you tell the story of what you see. Now, your photos are not really in nature. What you see is what you make out of them, is what you do, what you put in your picture, what you don't put in your shot. All of this is part of what you make out of what you see and what you want to show people. So effectively, I have two images that are shown in this show. One of them is taken in Costa Rica, where I was there in January. I had my family with me, and there was this very strong tide coming in, and I had my son, my wife, and my two grandsons there. And the tide was going so fast and so powerful, and I tilted my camera just to show the effect of nature. Nature really can do whatever it wants. Nothing can stop it. The other picture is in Clementi Street, where the young people in the spring come pedaling and moving the bar around and singing. And I blurred the shot just to show how these times are fuzzy. They don't last very long, and it just comes in and goes on like it comes in. Now with the COVID, everything has changed and everything is changing, so times are no longer the same. But telling a story is effectively you taking the shot and showing what you saw at a given time. Well, I hope you enjoyed the show and you enjoy my two pictures and telling the story. Go ahead and enjoy it.
I'm Elizabeth Bush, and I feel honored to participate in the exhibition during this surreal time. I teach high school English and run a photo program for teenagers in Los Angeles. I spent my own formative years in Delray Beach, a place so steeped in the nostalgia of my teens and 20s, brimming with memories of the people I've loved the most and lost far too suddenly. Water imagery abounds in most of my photographs, but this photo of my daughter Theodora walking towards life in all of its challenging uncertainty gave me pause on the cusp of the pandemic in March. As we moved in the open and desolate expanse of nature, I saw our collective experience through my camera. One is never quite prepared for the Sisyphean ascents that lie ahead for each of us, yet watching the weightlessness of my daughter, almost as if she were gliding across a glacier or treading upon another planet, reminds me that children always have so much to teach us. May we all channel this confidence and ability to connect on land, in the water, however we move through this world. No matter how foreboding the horizon, there are so many beautiful mysteries just aching for a reveal.
I don't know about you, but I hope you can tell how happy I am to see everyone here. It's very exciting to see people rather than being home trying to be careful. So thank you for being here tonight. But I'm sure you would like me to share my screen and announce out of all these amazing images that everyone has submitted, who actually was picked to receive the awards. I wish we could give everybody an award, and maybe when we can all get back together again, we can figure something out to celebrate all of your amazing work. And this is what I want to share. And in case you didn't realize it, part of the show was a small segment of images from our very, very first, this has been a year of firsts, our very, very first PhotoCamp, virtual PhotoCamp. We didn't have as many children as we normally have, so that portion of the show is much smaller. I think it's only got about 24 images. But I hope you can all see the image I'm sharing right now. For the virtual camp, I decided that this image is so good. It could be in the members show, it's that good. So I decided to give Daisy Dutko the Best of Show, the PhotoCamp student, Virtual PhotoCamp Student of the Year Award. Okay, hold on one second, and we will now go to, for the first time ever, we had let me share my screen again. So for the first time ever, we had a smartphone mobile photography, and Greg, you're probably jumping up and down right now. because this is your image, absolutely beautiful. I think it's very hard to believe that Greg McIntosh actually shot this with an iPhone, because it's an incredible, incredible shot. So the Smartphone Photography Best of Show award goes to Greg McIntosh. Moving on to the regular members show, the main show, which we have been having for years. The mobile photography was new for us this year, and the members show, this was the 24th annual. So thank you so much to all of you for participating. And once again, thank you to Matt for doing such a great show. Such a great job, not only selecting the images, but also doing picking the winners. So now I will share this image. So this image is by Linh, and she had some really amazing work. This is not the first time that Linh wins a contest that a jury show that I've been involved in. I'm also involved with the Native Plant Society, and 2 years ago she got the best image in that show, the Native Plant Society, which we normally partner with the Photo Center to do that show. Her work is beautiful, and this is the second place for the members show. I will go back to my computer and now share with you the first place in the members show. And here we go. First place in our members show, Patricia Tiller. I think it's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. They all are. It was so hard for Matt to select the winners, because there were so incredible, amazing images in the show this year. And of course, now we will go to our best of show. So the best of show is going to go to Bob Chilton. And I do know Bob was with us earlier today. Are you still here with us, Bob?
Yes, that's what you did when you do it with mirrors.
Uh-huh.
Very clever, Bob, because it's on a mirror.
Yeah, really, really nice. Thank you. So this is our winners, and now I know that there are quite a few of you who are present who did not get interviewed, couldn't participate. Is there anyone who would like to say a few words? I would like to open up the floor to anybody who would like to say a few words.
Fatima, if I may, I would like to add just a couple of remarks to my earlier. I started really seriously taking photographs about 6 years ago, and I came and took a course from Shane. And after I did Shane, I took a course with John Reuter. In fact, I did 3 different times with John in Lightroom. And then I thought I'd learned enough to work up to Vincent, and did 2 courses with Vincent. So my whole career in this, really taking photography seriously, has been helped along by you and the people with whom you associate yourself with. And I'm ever grateful for the vision that they've allowed me to realize, and what a great credit to all of their efforts, selfless efforts, in teaching all of us how to become better photographers.
Thank you, I appreciate it. And one thing I will mention, Greg continues to learn with us, because he signed up and took John Reuter's virtual course the other day. Didn't you, Greg?
Yes, I did, and I enjoyed it.
So we are offering some classes online, and getting ready to add a few more, one with Vincent. We've got some with Mickey Strand, John Reuter, and we're just hoping to keep adding more until such a time as we can open again. Thank you so much, Greg, for your kind words. Is there anyone else who would like to say something?
I know I've said this earlier, and I'll repeat it once again because I do believe it's very important to give thanks where thanks is due, and the effort that was put forth in these untrying times by everybody, Charlotte and the videotaping and yourself, everybody, the three of you, and I'm sure there's many people behind you that are helping you, that you should only feel that you've overcome great adversity and you persevered in these very trying times. And I'm very honored that my images were selected to be hung on the wall. And I thank everybody for looking. Thank you.
Thank you. Carol Roberts, would you like to say a few words? You all know Carol. Carol is on our board of directors. She's so involved in the photo center. She's one of those people that's always behind the scene helping. So Carol, could you please say a few words?
Thank you, Fatima. It's always a pleasure just to be with you and to be with everybody else. Fatima really introduced me to becoming a photographer. Before that, I just kind of used a camera and didn't know much about it. So I can attribute most of what I know to Fatima and some of the wonderful people that I've been able to take classes with. And I thoroughly enjoyed this. It's more than a hobby now. I almost feel like the Photographic Center is another career for me. And it's been a wonderful, wonderful adventure traveling with Fatima and being able to record and have the story of that we're able to tell through our cameras. So I want to thank all of you, and it was wonderful to see all of your work, and I hope that one day I will stop by and be able to stop by and see everybody's work in person. That's it.
Thank you, Carol. Nice seeing you. It's strange, you know, we work together all the time, and now all of a sudden can't really get together and see each other and have to do all the work with that behind the scenes. I'm sure that she's probably going to kill me for asking her to say something, but I would really like she knows I'm coming to her. Charlotte, could you please say something? I know you've been so instrumental on working with all the members to get their images, their videotaping, coordinating everything. So if you could just say hello.
Well, I think that the member show has turned out very well. You know, it was very difficult for us in the beginning to decide what we were going to do under these. So I feel like the show has turned out very well under the circumstances, and I'm so glad that we were able to at least do something with this COVID situation. It was difficult in the beginning for Fatima and I. You know, we were talking about all the different options that we had, and we were very uncertain in this new territory. And Sid's done such a great job putting together this video. And I got to tell you, you know, Fatima just had surgery on Friday, and she's been working feverishly for the last 2 days, helping Sid, you know, do the editing and trying to make sure that everything was just perfect. And I know that for most of you, the sound didn't sound well this evening, but I assure you, I've listened to it when it's not on Zoom, and the audio is fantastic. So once we get it posted on the website and on YouTube, you'll all be able to enjoy it. And it's really fun to see everyone and to talk to everyone and to put some faces together with these images and, you know, speaking to people on the phone. It's always nice to be able to see everyone and have a little bit of a connection. But I just want to say, I think we do a lot of nice exhibits throughout the year, but I always look forward to this one because it's just fun to see what everyone within our community is doing. And we've got so many different levels of work and so many different styles of work, and everyone has a different interest. And I think it really makes for a fun show. And thank you, Fatima, for being a great boss and friend. You know, she was my friend before she was my boss, and I'm glad that we're still friends. So thank you, Sid, for all of your hard work. And thank you, everyone who participated in the show, and for all of your kind words.
I would just like to thank you guys. I think you've done a fabulous job, and I feel so fortunate to be a part of this.
Anyone else?
Really quick, Fatima, I would like to just thank everybody that was participated. You guys literally make the Photographic Center worth it to not only Fatima, but to all the instructors. We thank you guys so much for participating, not only in the show, but in all the things that we do. We have sent out emails and we've put things up on Facebook and things like that. We take everything that you guys say to heart, and we want to make sure that you guys have a voice in everything that we do. So please keep posting, keep telling us what you want to see. I know that Bill loves to hang shows, so thank you, Bill. Fatima loves putting on different events, and she loves to give me work to do to make it happen. So I love putting things together for you guys. And Charlotte loves picking up the phone to answer your questions as best she can and make things happen. But this could not happen without you guys. So thank you so much for all you do. Keep taking photos, keep submitting, keep doing everything that you do, and thank you so much.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes.
Oh, you can hear me? Oh, great. I just wanted to thank you for the opportunity to show my images, and I'm very happy that you selected so many of them. And thank you very much. You guys did a great job tonight. Some beautiful images that won. Beautiful. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. It was so much fun seeing you all. And have a wonderful, wonderful rest of the evening. Bye now.